Hi, this is Diane Lovetobake on YouTube. And what we're going to make is pizza. But particularly, we're going to make a Amish pizza dough to make the pizza. I got this recipe from a friend, really enjoyed it. If you turn out that you don't like this one, please check out my channel because I've got, I believe, over 20 pizza dough recipes. And all different types of crusts, from thin to extra thick to Sicilian, many different ones that I actually have taken from my parents' recipes from when they were in the restaurant catering business. This one is a first for me because when I had it at a friend's house, I asked her about it and she said, oh yeah, this is an Amish pizza dough recipe. So I had to try it, and I did, and we loved it. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to first give you the recipe before we start anything because I no longer put anything below the video anymore, and I'm sorry about that. I also want to tell you that I made it in my bread maker now, or bread machine, whatever you prefer to call it. I will tell you though, this particular bread maker goes up to 2 pounds of dough. It's quite a large piece of dough when it comes out. So if you have the larger makers, I think you're going to be just fine. You probably could get away with it with a smaller one, but it might struggle, the motor, that kind of thing. But mine here is up to 2 pounds. Now, to give you the recipe, if you'd like to jot down this Amish pizza dough recipe, it's 2.5 cups of water, and I do heat that in my microwave to about, I think it's 140 degrees or so, maybe 110, I'm sorry. That didn't sound appropriate. But you do want to use hot water. You'll need 7 cups, and we're just using regular all-purpose flour for this recipe. And you'll need 1/3 cup plus 1 teaspoon of granulated sugar, 1 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 1 3/4 tablespoons of solid shortening. Now, I know that some people aren't a fan of that, so go ahead and use your preference of whatever oil that you want or fat that you want. To be honest with you, I think that the shortening, solid shortening, gives the crust that extra crisp that you want, especially on the edge of the crust. And I find that that I, in my maker, follow the directions however your maker is, but I have to put the water in first, and then I go ahead and put the shortening in that hot water, and it melts it for me, so I don't even have to melt the solid shortening in the microwave. And you need 1 package of dry active yeast, and 1 package if you buy yeast in bulk, as I do, and it is about 2 1/4 teaspoons is what comes into that little packets that you buy at your grocery store or whatever place that you buy your yeast at. Okay, now I do want to tell you though, I got 4 of this size pan pizza doughs, and I measured from here to here on the inside, and it's 10 inches, and I actually can get 4 out of them. Okay, now I don't want to confuse things here at all, but just to show you, the next size up, I'll show you in a pan, is a 12-inch, again measuring from here to there, just the inside. And this one is a very old pan. This is a 14-inch from this to this. Now, I'll be honest with you, I generally like to make the small ones because when I'm having people over, I make them all different. The toppings are all different. But I would assume that you could probably get 2 pizza sizes out of that, and probably 1 out of this one. Or maybe you might be a little extra dough, might be a little thicker, but just to give you an idea. But this is the size that I'm using, and I got 4 out of this recipe. So it is a large dough recipe. It really is. Okay, now I want to show you the dough, and I did weigh it, and it was just under like 15 ounces when I measured it. It's a nice dough to work with. It's not real sticky. It's easy to handle. I'm just going to take a little bit of flour and put it over my countertop. Now you can make this dough by hand if you prefer, but I don't put the directions on because I'll be honest with you, I use my bread machine or bread maker because I don't like to knead dough anymore with my hands. And then I'm just using my rolling pin to kind of get this into a round. And you can see it's a beautiful elastic dough. It works well. It works nice in handling it. And I remember the day when when making these in my parents' restaurant. Of course, we would actually flip them in the air, but that was mostly for customers if they were watching or that kind of thing. But I'm not going to do that today because it would probably land on my head. Now, heavily oil your pan. Just get this excess out of here. And you can just see it's an absolutely beautiful dough to work with. It's so easy. And then I'm just, using my fingers to get it to the edge and trying to even out the crust. Some people are more particular than others. I do care, but if it comes out a little bit, uneven, as long as it's a good tasting pizza, then I'm happy, okay? So you can see it's very pliable, easy to work with, and well, you'll see in just a few moments what it looks like baked up because it's beautiful. Okay, and then I'm just going to quickly put this pizza together. When I make pizza in particular, I actually measure everything because I really like consistency. So that I'm not, putting too much on something or too little. So I'm using 4 ounces of pizza sauce. Now, if you're looking for some really good sauce recipes, I have them on my channel. I have one that you don't cook, and then I have one that you do, and they're both so good. Please check them out if you're looking for a nice pizza dough sauce, okay? But that was 4 ounces, believe it or not. The next thing that I like to put down is Parmesan. I thought that didn't look right. And then I put grated Parmesan. And this is actually about 4 teaspoons. And you, of course, do not have to measure when you make pizza. Just put on what you feel that you like, what your family likes. I just kind of used to, measuring everything so that everything's the same, The next thing I have is 8 ounces of mozzarella. Now you can use a blend of different cheeses. Any type of cheese that you like. I don't particularly like the artificial cheeses, but now some people do, and that's great also. And I usually go to the restaurant supply where I buy my mozzarella and then I grind it myself. They do sell it in the grocery store. It's already, you know, ground for you. I just don't like that they have to put the anti-caking agent in it, and I prefer to not have that. So I just, like I said, I buy 5 pounds of it, and then I cut it up, and then I grate it in my processor. And this might look like too much cheese to you, so you might say, well, gee, I think instead of 8 ounces, I'll try 6. But my family likes a lot of cheese, so that was 8 ounces. Okay, now the next thing that we're going to put on is some pepperoni, which I forgot to put that in my bowl, so I'll just put these down very quickly. And I'm making the small one. I usually end up putting on, for this size, about 30 pieces. Some people like double pepperoni. Some, you know, like a lot less. You know, you put on as much as you want. It just, somebody wrote to me once and said, well, how much did you use when you made that pizza, or vice versa? So that's why I'm mentioning it there. Okay, so, and then you can use whatever type of pepperoni that you like and buy in your grocery store or the restaurant supply, wherever that you shop. The next thing that I like to put on is, well, we'll say hamburger, but I'm actually using sirloin, and it's about 2 ounces. It's a drier ground hamburger when it's cooked up, but you again can use regular hamburger, ground round, ground chuck, whatever you want to pre-cook. But again, I like the sirloin in particular because I think it's quite dry. There's not a lot of fat, and with the cheese there's kind of enough fat on this already. Okay, now of course put whatever type of fixings that you like, and mushrooms and pineapple or ham or green pepper. I mean, the sky's the limit of what you want your toppings. This is just an example of what I'm making today. And again, please, if you're looking for pizza sauce, I've got them on my channel. It bears repeating, and several different kinds of the crusts. Okay, and a thick crust, thin, crispy, party size, pizza bites. I really do have, I believe, 23 or so on my channel. So I'm going to rinse my hands real quick, and I want to show you a finished product. Okay, and this is it. This came out of the oven just a little while ago. It's still warm, but it's not so hot that I can't hold this pan. Okay, it'll come out a nice golden brown. Okay, I would say this is about medium coming out. I wouldn't say it's you could say it's a thin crust, but it's thin to medium. It really depends, you know, on the pan that you're using, how thick or thin that you want your crust to be, you know. The bottom turns out to be a real pretty brown, and it just is a delicious crust. It's very crispy on the outside, but when you bite into it, it'll still have sort of a softness to it. So it holds the toppings on very well, but it's not a real wimpy. That's a better word for it. A wimpy bottom to it. It's a nice firm bottom. It really does make a delicious pizza if you give this a try. And like I said, I got 4 out of this size pan. So, you know, if you try it and you like it, please let me know. Please write to me As a quick reminder, I only put my videos on YouTube, so if you write to me on YouTube, watch me on YouTube, I'm going to get your question or your comment, and I'll do my very best to answer in a timely fashion, okay? So I want to thank you for watching Diane Lovetobake on YouTube. If you're so inclined, if you'd like to subscribe to my channel, can't thank you enough, or ring the bell or give it a like. Well, thank you for watching. Again, Diane Lovetobake on YouTube. Stay well, stay safe, and I'll see you soon.